Welcome to the council wrap-up. I'm here with Mayor Art Minor, and our council meeting was held on Monday, June the 14th. We started the evening off, though, with a Crime Control and Prevention District meeting that began at 5:30. And that meeting was rather short, Mayor. We just had a public hearing on the budget for the Crime Control District. That was to allow the citizens to come and speak if they had any public testimony to provide for council consideration before they adopt the budget later on this summer. Then we went on and moved into a workshop that started at 5:45. That workshop was intended solely for the purpose of our sitting city council members, as it was emergency management training for elected officials. And that training was provided by our Deputy Chief, Randy Barkley. He did a phenomenal job, and I encourage all the citizens that want to update themselves on emergency management practices and protocols to watch that workshop video. Then, Mayor, we moved into the regular meeting roughly around 6:30, and it was a rather short meeting this week.
Excluding the executive session, it was a rather short meeting.
Absolutely. Sometimes those tend to take a little longer, just depending on the topic. But I know that you were really excited about the meeting because you had an opportunity to recognize someone who volunteered in the city of Watauga for quite some time. That we lost this past year.
Yes, ma'am.
And we recognized them during the State of the City address with the promise that once we were able to come back to meeting in person, that you wanted to provide that recognition during a council meeting as well. So you want to talk a little bit about the honoree?
Yes, it was Andy Ivy, senior, and he's many years of devoted service to this city. Many boards, he was on the council, the Veterans Advisory Board. You'll see his name in many places in the city. It was a tragic loss, but he was a good man. I served on several boards with him, and he'll be sorely missed. That type of dedication from citizens is rare.
And he was a veteran too, right, Mayor?
Yes, ma'am. He was a Marine, and very proud of his service as a Marine. As he should have been.
Yeah, I know he was really dedicated volunteer in the city of Watauga. His son also works for the city in the Parks Department, and excellent employee. We appreciate his service as well, so he's kind of following in his father's footsteps with the dedicated community service.
It was an outstanding family. After that, we moved into public comment, public testimony, of which we had none. The consent agenda, we passed that. Just routine housekeeping things, as we've mentioned in the previous meeting. And then action items, number one was notice of intent for certificate of obligations, and that was yours.
Yeah, absolutely. So state law requires cities, whenever they are planning to issue debt, in particular certificates of obligation, that they're required to give notice of intent to issue those that debt instrument. And Mr. Mayor, this particular time it was a debt issuance that is much needed throughout the city. It'll include some capital outlay items. $1 million of it was for capital outlay items. Another large chunk of it was for some improvements to Chapman Road, as you are very much aware. The council did approve the resolution, and the notice of intent was published in the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. And so that has to be in existence to allow citizens the opportunity to provide any testimony that they may wish to do so to the council over the next 30 days. The bond issuance will occur later on this summer.
Okay. And the citizens will have ample opportunity to comment on those going forward.
That is correct, sir.
Okay. All right, item number two, we elected a new Mayor Pro Tem. So congratulations to the new Mayor Pro Tem, Andrew Neal, and thank you to now Council Member Tom Snyder for his year of service as Mayor Pro Tem. Next, we appointed 5 members to the new Parks Advisory Board, and they will be meeting in July for the first meeting. And after that, we moved on to discussion on board liaisons and responsibilities of the council. And what we've done is it will now be mandatory for the board liaisons to attend all meetings of their assigned boards, and provide a replacement if they're unable to attend. Hasn't been a big issue in the past, but just looking ahead. And then reports to the council on the individual boards. We will do that on items of importance, big items. Again, I keep using the word housekeeping, but just normal housekeeping things that the boards do. There's no reason to bring that to the council. So had a little bit of discussion on that, and that's how that ended up. And then we moved into item number 5, which was reappointment to the Civil Service Commission. And again, that was yours, Ms. Gardner.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. I recommended to the City Council, and they confirmed the recommendation to reappoint Brian Downey to serve on the Civil Service Commission. So we thank Mr. Downey and all the other Civil Service Commissioners for their dedicated service to the City of Watauga.
And we thank everybody, every citizen that's serving on every board. And this is a good opportunity for me to pitch again that we do have openings on boards. Moving forward here past August, there are some that have not completed their required cybersecurity training, and there are some that have not applied for reappointment. So I'm anticipating getting that report next week and having several new openings in the boards. I encourage citizens to please apply for these and become part of the solution.
Yeah, just so the citizens are aware, during the 86th regular session of the Texas legislature, they passed a law that now requires all elected and appointed officials of a governmental entity to complete cybersecurity training once a year. And if that cybersecurity training is not completed by June the 14th of each year, then the city is required to remove their electronic access that they have to any city records. And that is simply to ensure that we don't have the increased opportunity for a hack into our system. So once that training is completed by those individuals that failed to do so within the time frame required, then their access would be restored.
And that concluded the action items, and then we moved into an executive session at 7:12 p.m. and remained in executive session until 10:03 p.m. So quite a lengthy executive session. There were 3 items discussed, and we took no action on any of those. Our next council meeting will be the 28th of this month, and as always, we encourage everybody that can to come and participate in person. Ms. Gardner?
All right.
That concludes the council meeting.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And one thing that I know you had asked me to do is to recognize Councilmember Juanita King. She was unable to be present the night that you and the other council members were sworn into office due to a medical emergency that she had. But she was there on Monday night, and you conducted the oath of office with Ms. King. So we certainly congratulate her on her re-election bid and how her assuming her position on the City Council in place 5. So thank you, Ms. King, for your dedicated service to the City of Watauga.
Okay.
Then, Mayor, as you know, since you serve as the head of the City Council and that of the Watauga Economic Development Corporation Board, the following night, on Tuesday night, we had an EDC board meeting that started at 6 p.m. and that too was a rather short meeting, and that's not typical, but we did have a pretty light agenda that night. Mr. Mayor, you want to tell the citizens what was done at the EDC meeting?
Yes, we had 5 proclamations, anniversary proclamations. We had Baja Cantina recognizing their 15-year milestone, Nail City, a 15-year milestone, Bath and Body Works had a 20-year milestone. We have Joe's Pasta and Pizza will had their 20-year milestone anniversary, and we will be there the 23rd, 2 p.m. We will be there at Joe's Pizza Pasta celebrating their milestone. And the last milestone was Allstate Insurance, who had their 25th anniversary. So congratulations again to all 5 of those businesses, and the city thanks them. We know that they have lots of opportunities to serve other cities, and we're proud that they've picked Watauga as their home. Next thing was the reports from the staff, which was just the monthly financial report, which is looking good. We've actually come out, even with COVID, better than we had anticipated, and that's a good thing. Public comment, public testimony, there was nothing on that. And the only action item we had a public hearing on the proposed budget for fiscal year 2021-2022. And did you want to say anything about that?
No, not really. The citizens will have future opportunities to speak on the WEDC's proposed budget, or you can email your comments to myself or any member of the city council. If you want to take a look at the budget, you can contact myself or Sandra Gibson for an electronic copy of it, but it is also posted on the city's website as well. We just encourage you to take a look at that, Mayor, and like I said, there'll be future opportunities for them to speak about it, and then of course they can always email.
All right, thank you. Now, there was one other action item, and that was we just approved the meeting minutes from our May 18th meeting. So as you said, it was a really short agenda, but with the biggest thing being the milestone anniversaries. And we look forward to those.
We have a lot this month.
We've had a lot of them for the milestones especially.
Yeah.
We have quite a few that we have to sign every month for anniversaries. For those that don't know it, Ms. Gardner implemented, we sign personal letters to every business on every year anniversary. And then we celebrate the milestones. And we encourage citizens to come out and participate on some of the milestones. They're posted on the city website. So if you can make it, we would appreciate that, and I'm sure the businesses would. And with that, I think that covers everything. It's been a busy week.
It has been a very busy week, sir. And it is unusual that the council meeting and the EDC board meeting falls back-to-back nights. Typically, it doesn't work that way, but a few times a year it does turn out that they are in the same week. We do encourage all of our citizens to show some love for our local businesses, so please do get out and shop local. Thank you for watching.
But have a good weekend, everybody.